This is former TNA World Champion Raven, and you're listening to TNA Cross the Line podcast. Quote the Raven, nevermore. And don't cross the line. Or do cross the line. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to, you're not supposed to. I don't know. Whatever. You get it.
TNA Wrestling. Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 173 of TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. And Dallas, we are coming off of TNA Hard Justice 2005. One of the first pay-per-views, or maybe the first pay-per-view that I've given a thumbs down. But you, being the TNA Mark Boy, decided, hey, this is one of the best ones I've ever watched.
No. I did not say that.
A little bit. Dallas will be going through the whole card, so I'm not going to go through all the matches, but the primary focus here coming out of the show is that we have a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and that is AJ Styles. He defeated Jeff Jarrett in the main event where there was a special referee, Tito Ortiz, and yes, we did get that Mike Tyson, Shawn Michaels moment where Jarrett got knocked out. So Styles is the new champion, and there is also a number one contender because Abyss won the Gauntlet for the Gold when he pinned Ron Killings. So assuming all that, assuming going into Slammiversary, by all accounts, it looks like we're going to be going AJ and Abyss. And they had just main evented Lockdown 2005 back in April. So have we reached a moment here where the main event scene is really coming across as redundant? Now, sure, AJ and Abyss will probably have another great match because they did at Lockdown and they have in the past. But even with Jarrett not being the champion, is the main event scene getting a little too repetitive?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I think part of the problem maybe with that is when Jarrett kind of beats them all, and then you don't really have many people to work with. I think we're even kind of lucky that we have AJ as a champion and in the main event scene right now, because if not, I don't really know what we got to work with. Kevin Nash is filming a movie in China. DDP is like teaming with, who did he just team with? Freaking, I don't know.
BG James, didn't he?
BG James, that's right. Well, he was supposed to. We'll get into that.
Or are you talking about at Ron? Well, he teamed up with Ron Killings at Hard Justice,
right? But he's like associated with Three Life Crew, kind of,
right?
Like going against Jarrett's guys, Monty and the Outlaw. I don't know. We're just in like a really weird place with the main event because, like I said, Jarrett kind of just beats them all. And really, what the last couple contenders, Kevin Nash, DDP, he's going through them all. Who else do we got left? I mean, Raven's not really in the main event picture right now. Neither is Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's far away from it at this point, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking, could there be potential here? And maybe would you do this? Would there maybe be a focus of the other X Division guys in the heavyweight division? So, like, let's say on Impact, AJ being the fighting champion that he usually claims to be, we could be seeing AJ against Petey Williams for the world title, or Chris Sabin,
or Christopher Daniels.
Which Chase Stevens had a good match with AJ. Who knows?
I think, and as you're about to say that, I was looking at the Hard Justice card and looking at the names, but Daniels too, and we'll talk about this more in a minute. Daniels is so over with the Orlando crowd. Him versus Styles for the heavyweight title would go over very, very well.
Oh, yeah.
Of course they'd kill it, but like the crowd likes Daniels so much, it's not like you'd be like, oh, I don't see him as a contender.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Well, and wasn't the match that Styles had with Kazarian where he almost broke his neck, wasn't that a heavyweight title match?
That might have been.
And that's where it's like they kind of dipped their toes in that idea.
No,
before.
they definitely did that in this. Yeah.
And like at that time for Kazarian to get a title shot is kind of wild, anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that's what I would be trying to do here, is maybe do something a little different. I mean, you mentioned Raven, and there's clearly been a detachment from the Asylum years. Like they do not really acknowledge. Yeah, like I don't on TV. They'd probably be like, "Oh, this is Raven's first title opportunity." You know what I mean? And like ignoring April 2003. Because like that's
or at least they seem to like tiptoe around it. So it's like they'll make it seem like it's his first match, but maybe not quite say it, because I feel like that's what they did with Styles and Jarrett. Is like they didn't say it was his first time fighting Jarrett, but they kind of made it seem like it was definitely the case.
Well, they didn't. You would have thought that they would say, "Oh, hey," like AJ would be like, "I beat you before." They didn't even do that.
No, they didn't do that, which is weird.
Which is really baffling to me. It's like, why wouldn't you acknowledge that he's beaten Jarrett before?
Yeah,
and show footage of that.
This is where it's like how little people saw the Asylum shows is good and bad, because it's like you can essentially lie about stuff that's very obvious, but you can also like hide some of the bad stuff. Like we don't really need to talk about sex. We don't really need to talk about that.
We don't need to talk about Glenn Gilberty getting a clean win over AJ Styles.
No, we don't got to talk about that. You'll probably never hear that again. Like it's just, pretty interesting stuff. I'm really curious though how Slammiversary is going to shape up. And I mean, we've been hinting at it for a while here, Bob, but we got 2 episodes of Impact, and then we had a little time off. But we'll talk more about that probably on our next episode. As you know, we don't really even know what we're doing yet. So
we've been talking about it, and then we like change our minds, or we're like, oh, we don't know.
Yeah, so we'll spitball a little bit, and we'll figure something out. But we'll get there. But yeah, so we're in a very interesting situation, and we're going to start to talk more about Slammiversary, maybe even a little bit on this show. I'm a little hesitant to do that because I don't want to spoil anything necessarily, but I might have some at least potential matchups that definitely aren't confirmed yet. But I might hold off just in case they actually happen on the show today. But before we get into all that, let's go through Dave Meltzer's star ratings and news and notes about Hard Justice. I almost said Hardcore Justice. Not yet. 5 more years or so. Or is it 6 years? I don't know. What did they do? Is it 2010? Okay, that's what I thought.
Because it's, the old, we haven't had enough ECW reunion shows.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of ECW nostalgia. I'm sorry. Someone can hate me if they want. I'm over it.
No, I totally agree, dude. I was watching a independent wrestling match on YouTube. It was Crowbar against Recon, and for ISPW, and it's actually a good feud. I wrote something up for WrestlingRecast.com. Check it out.
I saw that. Yep.
But they were doing like I think it was during their steel cage TLC match, which was, I guess, the first time that's ever happened. And they do some hardcore stuff, and there's fans chanting ECW, and it's like, guys, it's 2023. we gotta stop with ECW chants,
dude. And people, that's the thing in Impact too, because Dreamer and like Bully Ray, they just having a feud. I'm just over it. Can we start chanting WCW at stuff or something? Can we do something different?
Well, the thing with WCW is that it was so similar to WWE. There's no point. I mean, the only time that you would chant WCW is for like a clusterfuck finish of a team.
Exactly.
WCW, yeah, non-finish. WCW.
Or if there's an on the pole match, you can start chanting it or something.
Sure. Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over the ECW nostalgia. But anyways, Hardcore Justice, for the record, good show. I did enjoy it.
Did you enjoy, or did you enjoy like 2 matches?
I probably enjoyed 2 matches.
Yeah, because I know Raven Dreamer is actually pretty good, and then
dude, that Raven Dreamer match is freaking awesome.
RVD and Sabu, right?
Yeah, that's probably it.
I think it was supposed to originally be Jerry Lynn, but I think he got hurt.
Yeah,
so I think it was RVD and Sabu. I do remember Dreamer Raven being good.
You might be okay. So you might be right. I also I had like friends over. It was like I think that I watched that. Oh no, that wasn't. Never mind. I watched it with a group of friends, so I think I also maybe just had a lot of fun that night. Anyways,
You
but
suckered in a group of friends to watch a TNA pay-per-view?
I might have did it twice because then there's the 10-10-10 Bound for Glory show. I also think I had people over for that one.
Was it the group of friends I would know, or was it like other
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Okay.
I think. Pretty sure.
Okay.
And I don't think it was like a ton, but
I
regardless,
understand
whatever.
doing Bound for Glory 2010 too, because I almost bought that show too, but I didn't.
Which now thinking about it, I don't remember how many other ones I actually like purchased.
My
But
only
I'm
one,
pretty sure those two I did.
the only one we've already done it was Victory Road 2004. That was the only show. There was another show I almost bought. Like my buddy Anthony was over, and we were like, "Oh, dude, should we get it?" And I had the money out because I was gonna give it to my dad to like cover, obviously, so he didn't get shocked of a $40 purchase, or whatever it was.
Right.
And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? It's gonna be on DVD in like 2 months. I'll just wait. So I did.
Right.
And then I didn't get the DVD.
See? That's what happens.
I'm surprised I never got a lockdown. I mean, being
Yeah,
a sucker for
yeah.
cage matches, you would think I would get a lockdown, but I never did.
I'm sure I purchased other ones. I just off the top of my head I don't remember too much. And nowadays it's like I buy AEW pay-per-views usually with you, and then if I watch a WWE one, it's on Peacock and I pay $10 a month for. So
Right.
it's very difficult for me to want to pay to watch a show when everything else is so easy to watch. And like AEWs are 4 times a year. Like I can do that.
Right. 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah. This year it's going to be 6 because they just really want to fuck around. But anyways. Let's get into this. There's some interesting stuff, and we're gonna talk about Dave Meltzer's star ratings as well. Oh, before I do that, oh my God, Bob, how could I forget? We have to do his thumbs up, thumbs down, and stuff like that. Now, Bob gave it a thumbs down. He already noted that. It's really sad. I don't really want to talk about it because it kind of upsets me. However, I think I gave it a thumbs up. I didn't think it was a bad show, and actually, I think it was significantly better than I expected it to be. So, with all of that being said, Bob, what do you think that the readers of the Wrestling Observer newsletter had to say about Hard Justice?
I'm leaning towards they gave it a thumbs up just because Styles won the title.
Yeah, they did. 85.9% gave it a thumbs up. 4.3% gave it a thumbs down, and 9.8% were in the middle. So
how many people gave it?
Yep, I was going to tell you that too because you'll notice the numbers actually went down slightly again. There was I can't do my math fast. So there's 79 up, 4 down, and 9 in the middle. Now, so just for a reference point, lockdown, we had well over 100. So 82, 4, 24. So a significant amount went down. And there's a car alarm. Cool.
That doesn't surprise me that they went down.
Right. Now, what do you think was voted on as the best match? I know we didn't run down it yet, but I'm sure you have the card in front of you.
I do. The best match. I'm gonna say they went Daniel Shocker.
You motherfucker! I always wanted to surprise you. Yeah, they picked Daniels and Shocker only by 1 extra vote.
Okay.
So, but still, I am shocked to see that. But it was actually like a really good match. So, significantly better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because Shocker seems to be hit or miss, it seems like, here in TNA. In second place, by literally 1 vote away, was Jeff Jarrett and AJ Styles. Then third was America's Most Wanted and the Naturals. And then fourth, that's how many different we have here, is Raven and Sean Waltman.
Okay.
And what about the worst match?
I will say they went with worst match. They probably didn't do Gauntlet for the Gold. That was fine. Brown and Outlaw against DDP and Killings.
That was second. So
Shane and Trinity against Sabin and Tracy.
No, and that match was good as fuck. So how dare you say that?
I know. I don't know. So Team Canada against Apollo and Siaki.
Yeah, it was that one. With 46. The Outlaw and Brown tag match got 10 votes, and then even Raven and Waltman got 8 in this category as well, which is odd to me because that was a pretty good match, I thought.
That's surprising,
and just for reference point, this was all based on phone calls, emails, and faxes as of Tuesday the 17th. So there's potential that more came in there, but regardless, that's where that stands. Okay, so onto the notes here. The May 15th TNA Hard Justice pay-per-view, Dave says, was a good show, but one that ended giving one of the feelings of uneasiness because there's a lot of bad vibes. The show lacked the killer match or matches that most of recent shows have had, even though a lot of the matches were good. The crowd in Universal in Orlando was not hot at all, and they've been one of the reasons that the pay-per-views have been so strong because of the great reactions. Those who regularly attended noted to me after the show that there were real vibe among the regulars that they were losing interest. The pay-per-views always turned hundreds away, this time for a free show, with the second most popular in the company, by all accounts, in the building. Christopher Daniels is the most popular. Challenging the hated Jeff Jarrett, so they're talking about AJ Styles here, for the NWA title. They turned nobody away. Now, they did manage to get about 750 fans in to start, but as usual, many left after seeing the Christopher Daniels match. Those who were there weren't as hot as usual, and there were lots of empty seats for the title change. So, and if you look at the order of the card here, that means they missed the Gauntlet for the Gold and the heavyweight title match, which was a decent chunk of that last part of the show. So, I guess it's easier to leave a show if you didn't pay anything for it, if you kind of saw what you wanted.
Yeah, but there's no way that if we went to that show that you're not staying for the whole show.
Absolutely fucking not. I'm staying for the whole show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm making sure that everything is done before I get up out of my seat.
Yeah. So not only are we getting there 3 hours before showtime, we're staying the whole time.
Well, see, you can't really blame me if we got there 3 hours for this because you don't actually have tickets. It's like GA.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. See.
You can't really blame me for this one.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He goes on to say the volume of response, which is usually a good indication of how the pay-per-view is going to do, was by far the lowest of these shows since it went monthly. In fact, there was less of a response than the strongest shows when they went weekly on Wednesday. So he's saying how much lower it is on this. The response was down 16% from the show 3 weeks earlier and 33% down from March, which is believed to have done around 25,000 buys. So a reasonable estimate for this looks to be about 16,500 range, down from the 35,000 that they were doing 4 months ago. TNA has gotten as many as 6,000 or more buys on replay showings on shows that got great reviews in recent months. While this show got good reviews, I don't think it's strong enough that people would kick themselves for missing it and order a replay. Yeah. Which I think is probably pretty fair. I mean, I keep knocking Hard Justice in general, but it's true. Like, it's just it's a throwaway pay-per-view for TNA.
That's my issue with it. It's like I watched the show and it didn't drag along or anything. And like Dave said, there are some solid matches, but ultimately going into it, the build for it,
yeah,
it just wasn't there. I mean, you're building towards Raven and Jeff Hardy, for instance, and you tune into the show and it's Sean Waltman.
Right.
So there's not a lot there to be invested in.
Totally.
For me to care.
I understood where you're coming from. I just like TNA and the matches were good. Anyway, you know how I am. The big news is nearly 1 year long run of Jeff Jarrett, dating back to June 2nd, 2004, ending. The finish, which was booked by Scott D'Amore and not insisted upon by Jarrett, was that the special ref, Tito Ortiz, decked Jarrett, and he notes that the punch looked great, largely because he did potato Jarrett with it. And Styles came off the rope with a spiral tap. There was no major post-match celebration, and it did come off like it was Ortiz and not Styles who really beat Jarrett, which I think we even talked about after the match. A far better finish would have been, it's Ortiz decking the Outlaw, and Styles to beat Jarrett on his own, so he'd still get the punch in. But
and I think Outlaw would have sold the punch extremely well.
Oh yeah, he would have 100%. More than anyone else, the title switch was insisted upon by Dixie Carter, but prior booker Dusty Rhodes and the new booking committee were all on the same page. Now, you're probably wondering who the fuck is the new booking committee. I got that note. I'm saving for after we get through Hard Justice, so stay tuned. I just wanted to get Hard Justice out of our way first. Jarrett at first agreed, although grudgingly, to lose to Styles when Carter brought it up. However, there were major issues over the weekend. Styles' contract expired in September, and while they thought they were close to a new deal, he had not signed. As of late the night before the show, Jarrett was refusing to lose the title unless Styles signed a new 3-year contract that expires in September 2008. Styles, who was believed to have gotten a good raise, he did end up signing this contract, giving him far more time with his family than a prospective WWE deal would have allowed him, and probably as high as a money guarantee as he would have gotten elsewhere. So, it's official. AJ Styles is here till at least September 2008.
Manipulation at its finest. I love it.
However, Dave, I pull out because sometimes his parentheses throw me off when I'm trying to read. But I understand why he'd want to be like, if you're not going to stick around, why am I going to drop the title to you? I will give him the benefit of that. Not to be like, you better sign this 3-year deal. That's a little much, probably, right. But to really hook him in. But honestly, if they're trying to get people more long term than year deals, then it's probably for the better.
Yeah, but the night before,
I know.
To be like, hey, I'm not doing it unless you sign. And if you look at the TV situation, it might be the worst time to be signing up long term with the company because
that's
if you're about to not have a TV deal, how can you justify it? But that's interesting to look. Oh, he's got a weekly guarantee
well, no, I was gonna say, what if there's a really good chance he could, right?
He has to. Yeah. So that's interesting. So he's signed up through September 2008. So
we got
that's
much more AJ Styles left in our life.
Yeah, thank God.
He's going to be a 16-time champion by the time we get to the end of 2008, I feel like. But
well, I would imagine, if you're Jeff Jarrett and you're doing this, then him signing, I would have to believe that he's going to have a lengthy run with it.
I would assume so as well, right?
And I think with what you're saying about Daniels, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Daniel Styles Bound for Glory title match.
That would be smart fucking shit.
Especially, if it's in Orlando and Daniels is by far the most over guy.
Right. I agree.
That seems to make a lot of sense to me.
Right. There's 2 more notes here before we get into the match breakdown. It's still, of course, talking about this. The other major story involved the pro wrestling debut of Ortiz. Ortiz got high marks from everyone in TNA with the feeling that his demeanor, look, and charisma made him a natural for the business. Now, while his Jimmy Kimmel appearance wasn't much, the feeling was that he did a perfect job in the Best Damn Sports Show, plugging the pay-per-view. The video feature on him is a wrestling fan produced by Jeremy Borash on the Weekend TV was strong, which we saw on Impact. And he performed well in his vignettes on the show. He did a great job as referee and appeared that he loved the atmosphere as he stayed out and partied with the wrestlers till at least 5:30 a.m. after the show. The new booking team is thinking along the same lines as Dusty Rhodes about the future usage of him. Now, he hasn't agreed to anything, but he will likely be asked to be a part of the WGN debut show if the deal is made, as well as possibly headlining a July or August pay-per-view show. So, and I gotta agree. I think that Ortiz did not stick out too poorly. I think sometimes when you throw in a special referee of someone who is not a wrestler, it can get a little weird. But I think he did pretty good.
Okay, but they're saying that he could headline July or August.
Yeah, I don't. We're just
as like performing.
I mean, it doesn't say that, but who knows? Yeah, I think that's kind of what it's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Him versus Jarrett, baby.
Yeah. Well,
if it's not for the title, I don't care.
Yeah, and I feel like Jarrett would definitely put himself in that spot.
It makes sense. Cost him the title. You could do that.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how Tito would do.
I don't either.
If he's potatoing him on a work punch, I can't imagine what he would do like on a power driver. He'd probably break his neck.
Yeah. Now the last thing here is Dave notes that there was some issue with the handling of the death of Chris Candido. So they were getting some criticism for the way they handled this, which I don't know. I'll let you decide after. Now, before the show started, in the building, Jimmy Hart interviewed the Naturals in the ring, clearly designed to babyface them in sympathy for the death of Chris Candido, who interfered in their tag title win 2 days before his death. Well, a few days before, and then, of course, it was taped. So the show started with a photo of Candido with one of the tag belts in a dark and empty ring and a 10-bell salute. There was also an interview with the Naturals with Mike Tenay, which we actually saw on air, where they were clearly presented as sympathetic babyfaces, talking about how much Candido taught them. Some, most notably Bob Ryder, were negative about this, claiming that the company was exploiting Candido's death. Ryder claimed after the show that the internet response proved him correct. When the Naturals came out for their match with AMW, there was a chair put in their corner with the same yellow towel that Candido used. Dave says it was a moving deal and that there were loud Candido chants throughout the match. At times, the match lacked heat because there was no heel in the crowd's eyes. When Chase Stevens put his feet on the ropes to pin James, it was said by the announcers that he won the way Candido taught him, and that the crowd popped big as if they clearly wanted the Naturals to win, even though neither team played heel. So, they just kind of getting that criticism of that they're exploiting him and all that. Now, Dave says that he doesn't. He said, I didn't find any problem with the interview, as my feeling is if it was a football player who lost his mentor or a boxer, the interviewer would have handled it exactly the same. The towel in the chair was a bit tough. You couldn't run away from the story because the crowd was chanting his name. And Dave says, I had no problem using his name for the finish. And they're saying, like, if they did a ceremony to honor him and the heels jumped the Naturals to build a feud, then he'd have a different opinion about the whole situation. But
yeah, I don't think they're exploiting him.
I didn't look at that either. I
didn't at all.
I looked at it too as like, literally it was days before. This is their first. I mean, the other shows were taped. They got to do a little memorial thing, but they literally they aired footage of him, but after he died,
right?
Like, because it was already taped.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's like, I don't know. This was their opportunity to honor him, and I think, I don't know. I actually really liked how they're like, that's how they taught him how to win, and like that kind of stuff. Like, it plays into what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, exploiting somebody would be more like what would happen later on in 2005 with Eddie. I mean, and that would go on for years.
It's still going on.
It's still going on today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So no, I don't think that's in poor taste or anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't really either, but okay, Bob, it's time to get into these matches here. Let's break them down. There was a dark match that we talked about where Shark Boy pinned David Young in 6 minutes and 28 seconds with the Dead Sea Drop in a pre-show match to get into that gauntlet on the pay-per-view. Dave says that it was a solid bout, and he gave it 2 stars. Which for a pre-show match, not too bad. Next up, Petey Williams and Eric Young defeated Apollo and Sonny Siaki in 8 minutes and 9 seconds. Originally, this was going to be a 6-man with Bobby Roode on Team Canada against a Team Mexico. Now, we talked about this during the show. This was a rare show, pay-per-view show note. But they never could get the Mexican talent they wanted on such short notice, particularly on a Sunday when any star worth anything has 2 or 3 bookings. When it came to Los Villanos being on the team, the decision was to just not have a Team Mexico. He notes that the match was sloppy in parts and that the finish saw D'Amore distract the referee, and A1 nailed Siaki, and Williams then pinned Siaki. a 1.25 star. Next up, we saw what I think was arguably one of the best mixed tag team matches I've ever seen in wrestling, where Michael Shane and Trinity defeated Chris Sabin and Tracy in 10 minutes and 17 seconds. It says that the match was good when Sabin was in with Shane. It was by no means bad when the women were in, but they just aren't on the same level as Shane and Sabin, he says. He kind of goes through some of the match, but then at the end, the shocking turn, Tracy turned on Sabin and gave him a low blow, while Shane then super kicked his partner, Trinity. The craziest double turn I've ever seen. Shane super kicked Sabin to get the pin, and Shane and Tracy hugged like they plotted it all out. Now, apparently, listen to this, Bob. This is crazy. Apparently, Rhodes thought that Shane and Trinity were always paired up, and that's why they were together in this feud. And he says that this was just putting things back to how they were supposed to be. So there was a confusion there of Tracy. I think they got the two girls confused.
Oh my.
So basically,
no one told them that, oh, hey, it's Tracy and Shane?
I don't know. I guess not.
Oh,
to be fair, they were apart for a while, but still. Oh, by the way, I don't think I said it. It's 2.5 stars. He gave that one. I think
is ridiculous.
That's a 4-star for me.
Well, yeah. I mean,
if we're talking entertainment purposes, 4 stars.
I think I'm giving 4 stars for the explanation as to why Shane and Trinity were together. Because Dusty didn't realize. He thought they were together the whole time.
I believe that shit too.
I do too. That's amazing.
I love it. Next up, Raven pinned Sean Waltman in the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, which I think they just called House of Fun at this time, but whatever. 13 minutes, 2 seconds. Raven totally buried Hardy in an interview, calling him a coward and having no guts before the match, because, of course, this was supposed to be Jeff Hardy. Now, Waltman did a hell of a job here, as Raven had laid out a complete match for Hardy. So Waltman worked as Hardy's stand-in, and actually was better than Hardy probably would have been.
That's what you said. That's what you said. Like, he's probably just doing Hardy spots.
And get ready, because it gets even weirder about that. He also took a few bumps that he had no business in taking to get the match over. The ring was surrounded by a cage on only one of the sides, and they had chains with weapons, like a stapler and all that kind of fun stuff. Which Dave says was totally gimmicked with no staples, as Bob was trying to tell me as if I didn't know on the show.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
Isn't it? Raven juiced in about 20 seconds, and his face was raked across the cage. Now, in a Hardy spot, Waltman came off the clockwork chains from the top rope with a more careful version of a swanton onto Raven on the floor, laying on a table. So, yeah, it is literally a swanton. Like, he literally did a Jeff Hardy spot. I love it. So if you CGI'd Waltman out and just put Hardy in, you would have got the same match, is basically what we're learning from this, and I love it.
Yeah.
Raven handcuffed Waltman to the ring post and started caning him, trying to reprise the Sandman Dreamer caning spot where Raven would tell Waltman to quit after hard shot, and Waltman would swear at him and not quit. Now, this is also pretty interesting. Dusty Rhodes came out, apparently about 5 cane shots planned too early, and uncuffed Waltman. So he technically uncuffed him earlier than he was supposed to. And so Waltman came back after that and everything. The finish was that Raven backdropped Waltman into the cage and it tipped over. At first, it looked like a terrible equipment malfunction, but when Waltman crashed to the floor as the cage gave way, Raven pinned him, so it was clear it was the planned finish. Fans liked the blood and weapons stuff a lot because both companies have toned it down in recent months. 3.25 stars. Pretty good stuff.
I mean, that was fine. Dusty is just messing up a lot on this show.
Yeah, he's probably sick of it because he's not a booker anymore. So he's like, fuck it. I'll do whatever I want. Monty Brown and Monty the Outlaw, which I thought was a hilarious line that he wrote, beat DDP and Ron Killings in 8 minutes, 56 seconds. Before the match, DDP did an interview and showed that he got a text message from PG James saying that he was stuck in traffic. Page acted very angry about the situation, saying that it was BG who asked him to be his partner in the match in the first place. Killings came out and said that he didn't know where he was, but basically he would be his partner anyway. And that he didn't even get that text message, by the way, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It was a decent match, Dave says. The finish looked stupid and not well planned out. And this is another one of those shaking my head moments. Phi Delta Slam ran in, but Page gave both of them diamond cutters. He then gave the Outlaw a low kick and a diamond cutter, but Brown then pounced him for the win. What was stupid about this is that referee, we know it's Slick Johnson, but it's Mark Johnson, was there watching all this interference and did nothing about it. It looked ridiculous, and all these guys from the outside beating Page and the ref just standing there and then counting a pinfall after all that. 2.25 stars. There's another note about this situation. It must either later or we'll talk about during the show. I can't remember where I placed it, but just keep in mind that match and that whole funky ending because there's a reason for it. Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens then retained the NWA Tag Team titles over Chris Harris and James Storm in 14 minutes, 59 seconds. As we already noted, loud Candido chants throughout the match. The emotion of the chair and the towel led to little reaction to the match itself and only the chants. After a bunch of really great spots, AMW went for the death sentence on Stevens, but Stevens broke it up and pinned Storm with both his feet on the rope. Fans gave the Naturals a standing ovation and loud Candido chants for the win. Gives this 3 stars. Then we saw Christopher Daniels defeating Shocker in 12 minutes to keep the X Division title. The match picked up with a hard-standing exchange of chops and slaps. It looked like Daniels was done, but he played possum and hit a downward spiral. In one bad spot, Daniels went for a moonsault, completely missed, then got up, not selling, acting like he had it, and Shocker stayed down while he just hit a second one. Yeah. Eventually, Shocker climbed up to the top rope, but Daniels got up, crotched him, and then used the Angel's wings off the ropes into the ring for the pin. 3.25 star. Not too bad. Then we saw the Gauntlet for the Gold. Abyss won the 20-man gauntlet match, 26 minutes, 28 seconds to become the top contender for the title. This didn't have the star power of length of most Royal Rumbles, but had more action than the majority of them and was well scripted. And then he goes through the whole elimination order, which I'm not talking about. But we did see the return of Zach Gowen. That's probably the biggest thing that came out of this match. We ended up with Abyss and Killings in their singles match because that's how Gauntlet of the Gold works. They won a good 7 minutes, 21 seconds of action, with referee Rudy Charles getting bumped. Killings did an axe kick off the ropes. Even Dave calls it an axe kick, Bob. Off the ropes on Abyss.
What? Hang on a minute. I want to point out, I was listening to a Nitro the other day at work, and Mike Tenay called it a scissor kick / axe kick.
Oh, does that settle our debate officially?
I think it's both. I think you can do either way because the way that Tenay says it.
If Tenay says it,
Booker T's like Booker T with the scissor axe kick. And I was like, huh.
I mean, listen, I think they're pretty much the same anyways. But if that could stop our arguing about it, I guess
I think that's amazing.
I guess if the professor said it, it's got to be true. That's fair. Well, he did the axe kick off the rope here on Abyss, or the axe scissor kick, we can call it now. Whose face landed on a chair in the ring. Charles was out. Abyss did the old earthquake sitting splash. On Killings went for a second one, but Killings got the chair stuck up in his groin. He then came off the ropes, but Abyss hit a black hole slam and got the pin. 3 stars. So pretty high rating for that one. And finally, the main event. AJ Styles pinned Jeff Jarrett to win the NWA title with Tito Ortiz as referee in 19 minutes and 32 seconds. A good match, but nothing on the level of prior Jarrett-Styles matches. Largely, Jarrett worked over Styles' knee, used a figure 4, and Styles did very little of his spectacular stuff. Eventually, Jarrett used a Styles clutch for a near fall, so Styles came back and used the stroke for a near fall. Crowd wasn't much into the match. That's just one sentence. Monty Brown ran in and went to pounce Styles, who moved and he nailed Jarrett. Ortiz confronted Brown, and there was a buzz out of that one. So apparently people were really buzzing about Ortiz and Monty Brown standing off. I'm not sure I quite got it while we were watching it, but fair enough. AJ Styles was covering, but no Ortiz. Rudy Charles ran into count, but Ortiz teasing a heel turn by pulling him out of the ring. Styles and Ortiz argued. Jarrett kicked Styles low and shoved Ortiz, who that's when he punched him pretty much. And Jarrett looked. Oh no, it's not when he punched him. My apologies. Jarrett looked like he was going to go for a superplex on Styles, but Ortiz pulled him down. Then that's when he shoved Ortiz. He KO'd Jarrett with a right cross, and Jarrett sold it like he was knocked out. And apparently he was half knocked out anyways. Styles came off the top with a spiral tap for the win. 3 stars. So
Only 3 stars. Well,
yeah, so that's the thing is if you look at these star ratings, there's not that one that is like awesome, amazing, like best tag team match ever. Like I mean, he literally gave the Raven Waltman match a higher rating than he gave that one and the Daniel Shocker match the same rating.
right.
Which I'd argue were the 2 best matches on the show. Well, the mixed tag though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We know how you feel about that mixed tag match.
Dude, the biggest double turn ever. Double turn. You hear that? Double turn. Like if you're gonna try to pull the whole like Rock and Hogan, no, that was predictable. We all knew that was happening. Okay,
Yeah,
even though I didn't watch it live, we did not know that was we knew it was happening. This, just because Dusty fucked up the booking, I had no idea it was gonna happen.
Yeah, that match had more of an impact on the wrestling landscape.
Correct.
Than any other double turn to ever happen
that I can think of. Yeah, double turn. Yeah. Now, if we're talking biggest turn, like heel turn, Kimberly Page. Hey, come on.
Of course.
I need everyone to really know this though, that I'm not fucking around.
I know you're not trolling. Anybody that thinks that you're trolling, they don't know you.
I'm absolutely not. I'm still blown away by it. But anyways, we don't need to talk about that more. Let's talk about our TV deal. We got a little bit more we need to talk about here, Bob, before you into the show. I'll try to just plow through it, but unfortunately, there's just too much to talk about during the show. But that's okay. This is important shit about our TV deal that's coming up. Okay, so Dave notes that we are one step and most likely just a few weeks away from having the second edition of the Monday Night Wars.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now, while TNA's television situation remains up in the air at press time. Now, just for your reference here, this Observer newsletter is from May 23rd. Okay, we're going to be watching the May 20th Impact in a minute, so it's a little later, but that's how they all are. We've talked about it before. Anyway, the most likely scenario is that sometime, probably as early as the next few weeks, TNA will debut on WGN in the Monday night 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time slot. This would give them the first hour unopposed, and the second hour would be head-to-head with the first hour of Raw. Now, contracts have not been signed, nor has a deal been verbally closed, but a final decision on TV is almost surely going to be made within a week or two at most. Now, TNA officials have one meeting left with Spike TV. Outwardly, Spike has continued to act like they are not interested in pro wrestling franchise. Still, they have kept in contact with TNA, though, but it has always been, and still is, a long shot. Pretty fascinating. Now, TNA's television deal with Fox Sports Net expires with its shows on 5/28 and 5/29, which is a little bit, that's, I think, like the replays and such. But
right.
And FSN wouldn't agree to a renewal term of less than 6 months. Now, it is not definite when WGN can clear its schedule to debut the new Monday show, but there is a possibility the scheduled 5/31 Impact tapings could be canceled. This is a pretty big deal, man. Potentially canceling some tapings because we don't know where we're going. Now, if the WGN deal is inked, the current plan would be to go live for 2 hours from Orlando every other Monday. To save on transportation costs, there would be a Tuesday night taping for the following Monday. So it's a similar schedule that Raw did for several years back before it became a live weekly show.
Mm-hmm.
They are internal forces that want to do the show live every week, so this is not a final scenario. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, going to WGN would be a massive mistake, I think.
Yeah, and I think it probably gets discussed here. I'm curious. Like how bad would it have been versus what we are going to see? I don't know. Well, obviously what we're going to see ends up being the big thing, but we're not there yet. I don't know. It's a very interesting time here. And
Well, my thing too is you can't go live on a Monday.
No.
That would just, I mean, sure you have the first hour to yourself, but still, I mean, that's just, I don't think that makes any sense to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. And then he kind of breaks down some like old wrestling stuff that we're not getting into. Sometimes it just gets convoluted here.
Do you think that you would have watched Impact over Raw in 2005 on Mondays?
2005 had some good shit though, I feel like. I don't know. I think I'm trying to remember. My issue is I feel like if I knew about TNA, I don't know if I was watching it or not. I don't know if I was. That's the thing, I can't remember. But I feel like if I just found out about it, I think there's a chance. But 2005, man, I feel like that's like peak fandom for me is in WWE.
Right.
So it's really tough. I'd have to like see, I guess, like what was going on around this time, and I don't really remember off the top of my head, but I'd consider.
You probably would.
Probably would have. I mean, I'd leave birthday parties for TNA, so there's that.
Yeah, no kidding.
In later years when it's not as good.
You were so excited about it too. You made sure to get that cake, and then you left.
But fuck yeah, I did. Yeah, you remember that. I got cake and I left. Hell yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so I think that's kind of the gist of our TV talk at the moment, but I got a few more things here. So this is about the booking committee. This is pretty interesting stuff. The company at its the Hard Justice pay-per-view in Orlando introduced the new booking team as head booker Scott D'Amore and assistants Mike Tenay, Dutch Mantell, Bill Banks, and Jeremy Borash. Now, Terry Taylor is not on the booking team, but is believed that he will have input into everything because he's tight with Scott D'Amore. The pay-per-view show and first set of TVs were written before Tenay and Mantell were added to the committee, although Mike Tenay had considerable influence on late changes to both shows. So Tenay has a lot of influence on what we're about to watch here today and next week. The group worked together all weekend and laid out a general direction for the company for the next 3 months. As noted before, the TNA's big problem was lack of visibility, which in turn leads to an inability to create new stars. Even with talented workers, they were also limited to stars with prior exposure on top who the public believes are the real deal. Booking has had its issues during most of the company's 3-year tenure, but booking is far from the big problem. So it's pretty interesting, and I'm curious how these shows are going to turn out with a whole new regime.
Well, I'm curious to see just what Tenay's influence is.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most interesting part, to be honest.
Yeah.
And also, kind of dealing with all of this craziness, is that the plan is right now, even if that TV is interrupted beforehand, the plan is right now to still run Slammiversary to celebrate the 3-year anniversary on June 19th. I don't know how you do that if no one knows that you're having a pay-per-view, but they're going to do it. That's the plan.
Yeah, I don't know who would buy that.
I don't know.
I mean, because everything you just talked about, like visibility. I mean, you'd be at your weakest visibility at that moment.
We have to be starting to talk about the show on today's episode, and that's why I'm gonna not mention any of the rumored / potentially talked about on these two shows matches, because I feel like they gotta mention them. If they don't, we can talk about it, but
yeah,
I don't know. Now, it appears with the booking change that there will be a lot of turns, tag team teasing being split up, and new additions to the roster, as well as people being eliminated who aren't over. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things going around. Now, potentially the biggest story of all is going to take place over the next month, involving Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and Panda. Both sides are well aware there is going to be a battle for power. Now, nobody knows how it will play out. Panda is giving everyone the impression that they're in it for the long haul, in which case the Jarretts may leave and try to start up. Most of the talent here is under contract to Panda, And unless the Jarretts can swing their own TV deal in an environment where TV is getting difficult, it's going to be hard to get many people to leave. Still, most of those in the office with any wrestling background or knowledge are handpicked friends of Jeff, like Borash, Bob Ryder, and David Sahadi. The Panda people are very much aware that Jeff, Jerry, or maybe even both may not be part of the company much longer, and that they would be working hard to recruit the talent, not under long-term deals. So people are thinking that the Jarrett's going to leave and start another company.
There's no way. I wouldn't believe
not
that.
Yet.
Not yet, right? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Great. Dallas having a coughing fit.
I have bronchitis.
Nice.
So I'm trying to mute my coughs, but if one slips up, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I got them antibiotics.
Yeah.
Apparently, I had bronchitis for like 3 weeks, and my fiance decided to say, you should probably go to the doctor. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to. But then I did, and I had bronchitis. So here we are.
Yeah.
That's why you got to listen to people, man. That's why, like, when my friend Bob calls me and he says, am I having a stroke? I say, Bob, you should probably go check that out just to be safe.
And guess what? I did not. And
you did not.
Fine.
And he's living.
We're
good.
It's perfect.
Okay, Bob. 2 more things, I think, and then we can get into the show. Hold on. I'm double checking. I don't want to lie to you. Okay, 3 more things. Okay, 3 more things. Oh, I'm scrolling back up. Okay, so there's also some talent issues that need to be addressed. So on the Hard Justice pay-per-view, Jeff Hardy no-showed, which we saw. He canceled and then reserved a later flight from North Carolina to Orlando, either 6 or 8 times over the weekend. Yeah. Depending on the source, before finally not getting there at all, actually he arrived after the show ended. As he was at the hotel hanging out with fans at midnight with his body all painted up like he was ready for a match.
What?
Dude. What? Now, I will say, he was at the TV taping on May 17th, so he was at the taping that we're about to watch. When they got word out that he's suspended. So that's a thing. He was very apologetic, and he didn't do himself any favors when he said the reason he kept canceling his flight was because he was doing errands. I don't think anyone expected the new booking team to take a strong stand against a star, and they did, particularly since he was, well, I'm not saying that's a spoiler. So he was booked for something big that we'll probably see on the Today Show. And unfortunately, he's not in that spot.
Okay.
It's also really interesting. Does it say it right here? So they're thinking that his suspension will likely end on July 11th, which is ironically the same time that Matt Hardy's WWE non-compete ends. And they're thinking that they might be able to have a Hardy Boys reunion after that situation. We'll see. There has been considerable heat on Jeff Jarrett for refusing to fire Hardy because the two were close after he had arrived late many times, and once, without even calling, he blew off TV with TV taping. So he's in hot water, man. I guess we'll see what happens.
I just love that he was at a hotel painted up, ready to fight.
Is that not the most Jeff Hardy thing you've ever
That
heard?
is such a Jeff Hardy thing.
Yeah. Now, the other talent issue here, is about Diamond Dallas Page. Now, Page was booked to get pinned by Monty Brown's Pounce in the DDP and Grant Killings versus Brown and Outlaw tag match. But he refused to do the job. Yeah. Which hardly went over well since he's largely seen as a star whose main role, is to put over younger guys and make them appear to be big stars because of it. You'd think that DDP in 2005 would maybe realize that, but
yeah.
Taylor and D'Amore negotiated where Page would get to use his diamond cutter on 3 guys, which is why they brought back Phi Delta Slam for the honors, interfering and getting nailed along with the Outlaw, before being hit by the Pounce and then doing the job. However, this probably soured everyone on Page, who already had great heat because of the prior show, He had scripted out a 6-man tag, and Jarrett and the rest of the guys in the match didn't want to follow his script and clearly didn't appear happy about it. Well, Lethal Lockdown, by the way.
Right.
Paige, who missed the last set of tapings because of conflicts with a movie that he was filming, was once again not used on the tapings that we're about to watch from May 17th, nor is he booked for the next pay-per-view show. At this point, there are no plans for him either. His only possible saving grace is that they need as many people with name recognition for at least the beginning of the WGN run, and he has more name recognition than most anyone on the roster. And one of the others, Hardy, might not be brought back for most likely for the first shows. However, both Hardy and Page become important pawns if there's any kind of split, and for once, the talent actually will have options. And Bob, I think it is safe to say now, and not safe to say, it is true. This is the last time that we see Diamond Dallas Page in TNA. At least match-wise.
I've never understood why people refuse doing jobs.
Well, especially that late in your career. Like,
Yeah.
You're supposed to help people out.
Yeah. I mean, people helped him out. You know?
Yeah. Kind of sucks.
Unless he thought he had one more big run in him, but I don't think he's going back to WWE.
I would say probably
2005.
Well, and just for the record, let's see. Diamond Dallas Page has officially 9 more matches after that Hard Justice pay-per-view to date, until his career essentially is over. I mean, he has a couple more in 2005. One of which he actually did do the job here for Larry Zbyszko at Wrestle Reunion 2.
Well, he's a legend, so
right. And then he pinned Buff Bagwell at a show in December of 2005. Then he really wrestles quite sparingly. He wrestles twice in 2006 against Canyon, both times actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't wrestle again until 2010, and then 2011. And then he's in Royal Rumble, and then the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And then he's got that random match on Dynamite where he teamed with QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes to fight Butcher Blade and MJF.
Yeah, so, I was going to guess that he had less than 10 matches since then. Yeah,
so Diamond Dallas Page is, at least, like I said, wrestling match run here in TNA is done. It's funny because I thought that I keep forgetting because we saw DDP at a 2CW show, but he didn't wrestle. He did a diamond cutter after he played like a 5-minute DDP yoga video, and he sat in the ring doing yoga.
I wasn't there for that.
You weren't there at that one? Oh, I definitely thought you were there at that one.
No. Not there for that one.
Okay, well, I saw that one. But that's what happened. He like literally sat in the ring doing yoga moves, and like we watched a video for 5 minutes, and then he did a diamond cutter on Muscle Marcos.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So, there we are.
Self high five.
Self high five. Fascinating. Oh, I love this. In 2011, he teams with Kevin Nash to fight the Rock and Roll Express, and they go a no contest, probably because none of the guys wanted to get pinned. At AWE, Night of the Legends.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
I bet you most of the shows on that card go no contest. Oh, no, they don't. Okay. I just like the idea of that. I think it sounds funny. Wait, there is another match. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a side note. So after that tag match, Ricky Morton and Kevin Nash have a match with the special referee of Ronnie Garvin. And it is won by count out because Kevin Nash probably didn't want to get pinned by Ricky Morton.
That's great.
I love it. Love it. Okay. This is my final note, Bob, before we get into the show. It's a Dusty Rhodes interview situation. So Dusty did an interview on Live Audio Wrestling, which I'm not reading the exact quotes from that because Alvarez has that, but it's a bit longer. But Dave kind of summarizes what we need. So he says, despite what Dusty Rhodes says on this show, even if WWE had allowed TNA wrestlers to appear on the ECW pay-per-view, Dixie Carter had made the TNA call that it wasn't in the best interest of her company for it to happen. So Rhodes did an interview the day after quitting as booker, saying that he says, quote, "To tell you the truth, I don't have a lot of time to deal with something I don't really believe in." He got molten heat from some people in TNA for that line. He says, quote, "I'm not going to battle with a committee of people that are that don't have the same vision that I do. It's not me being a dictator. That's not it. I use people's ideas, but at the end, it's my movie. It's going to be my movie, and nobody else is going to direct it. And I'm not going to sit here in this committee, collect my paycheck, and keep my mouth shut. I'm too old for that." He was also negative about TNA running regular house shows, saying that they would lose their ass if they did it now because of their weak TV situation. He was also confirmed that he'd been called by Jim Ross regarding a 2006 Hall of Fame induction. He said he turned it down the invite in 2005 because of his loyalty to at the time to TNA. He said he was not friends with Flair and was never friends with Flair, but they knew they worked well together. And also, it's noted that if Rhodes doesn't stay much longer, and the truth is it's very difficult to a guy to lose his booking position to stay on as a talent, then one would suspect that Larry Zbyszko would be leading candidate for the TV DOA spot.
Okay. That would make sense, I think.
Especially if he's fucking there anyways half the time.
Yeah, and he was a judge.
And he's a judge. That's right. Well, Bob, that is all I got here. I know it was a lot, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here at this time in TNA, especially coming off of a pay-per-view. But with that being said, man, I am ready for this episode of Impact.
I am as well. So thank goodness that we can finally get into it. So it is that time to get into the May 20th, 2005 edition of Impact. I'm going to count down from 3. And when I say play, that is when we are going to start the show. If you want to watch along, I'm sure it's on Impact Plus, or you can find it in your own personal collection. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is TNA. I have a pretty crazy thing for you here, Bob. As we're getting over our Hard Justice still images, there was actually a dark match at this taping.
Really?
It is absolutely nothing that means anything to either one of us, as far as I know. But Sean Powers defeated the Wanderer.
What the hell's that?
I don't know, but it's listed in the thing, so I had to tell you. Fascinating, isn't it?
I have no idea. I've never heard that before in my life.
I know. I couldn't believe there was a dark match. I'm glad I checked, because I almost stopped checking because there was like so little. But I double checked, and here we are. So yeah, we're still just going through our stills here. We're gonna probably do this for a minute, then we're gonna get the intro with our shitty song. I do have a bunch of notes that we're gonna talk about during the show, Bob, including a Mike Tenay interview, which is I feel like a rare thing. I feel like Mike Tenay doesn't do a ton of those.
Yeah, I don't think so. At least not typically.
Yeah, I hate this song so much. I hate the videos even more, I think, because it's like shows like Sabu and shit.
Yeah. And like Jeff Hardy's the last guy showing like he's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. We need an update.
The phenomenal AJ Styles. Pyro. Love it.
Waste that budget, baby.
Gotta
You know
go
what I
all
mean?
out if you're losing your TV here in a minute.
Might as well. Oh, look at that custom spinner belt of nothing. Oh, do I have a crowd number? Hold on. I don't know if I do, though. Oh, I do. At this taping, we have 600, so we're not a sellout after the
Oh.
pay-per-view. That's pretty interesting.
I was gonna say 700.
Oh, yeah, I should have made you guess. Here comes Sonny Siaki.
Who? Ha. Who? Ha. Who? Ha.
We're just going to
Who?
do 7 minutes of Bob singing Sonny Siaki's song like
Ha.
that. Ooh. Ha. Oh, it looks like he's fighting Monty Brown, the man who apparently could not pin Domino's Page. She also was they had a weird camera angle there, zooming very close to him. Normally he's got pyro there, and he did not. Remember a couple weeks ago how we talked about Lex Levette? He's going to be retiring.
He's probably already changed his mind.
Yeah, so apparently it was supposed to happen, I think, at this point. I can't remember exactly, but and now apparently that only has to do with doing Florida indie wrestling because he told TNA officials that he'd still do job duty for them as needed. The belief is that he has new work hours where he has to be working weekend nights, so he simply wasn't available to do indie shows.
Oh my god, that's funny.
So he wanted a send off. Fall away slam.
Siaki got a heel kick in the first 30 seconds here, but then he got a fall away slam by Monty Brown. That's great though. Oh no!
Oh fuck!
Already pounced him into the bottom rope.
Oh no! Siaki under a minute.
Siaki's done.
Wow. He's fucking fried.
Siaki's gotta be done.
How much more do we? I mean, is he here? He's not here another year, is he? There's no way.
No, I think he's gone by the end of the season.
Michael Shane is feeling up on Tracy very weird right now.
Yeah, he is.
Terry Taylor's interviewing him. I'm getting uncomfortable. Oh, so they're saying there's a political game to keep him and Tracy apart, but they played the game a little bit better.
The game was just Dusty forgetting that they were together.
He says that basically Tracy wouldn't want to be with like a low life like Chris Sabin. Oh, he let a nobody stunt woman hang out with a superstar like him. That's what he's saying about Trinity. So she should be happy. It came to a head at Hard Justice. Tracy goes, "You super kicking Trinity? That all it did was improve her face." You want to whine with Michael Shane at Chris Sabin? He's bigger. He's more muscular. He's got more talent in the ring. And he's way sexier than Chris Sabin would ever be. Oh, she says, you know what was really sexy about you? When you used to wear that X Division gold around your waist.
So Michael Shane's probably going for that X title again.
With that, besides the awkward touching, I don't mind the way that I like Michael Shane presented with Tracy, I think is a good fit. I liked obviously when they put the trio with Kazarian.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking about Hard Justice again. Mike Tenay's in the ring.
Are we about to get an AJ promo or something here?
Yeah, we got to be. Here he comes. The new champion. The phenomenal AJ Styles. Look, he's dressed like a champion. New button-up shirt tucked in, about 2 sizes too big. The most phenomenal champ ever. AJ pushed the king off the mountain. Well, Tito kind of did, but I get it.
Yeah. Tito definitely did, but we'll give it to AJ. AJ had to cover him and keep him down, so.
Right. Well, what is our champion going to say? We're going to find out.
Who's going to be the person to come out here and say, AJ, I'm coming for your belt?
Jeff Jarrett? I mean, come on.
It's going to be better than that. Evo, good Evo.
Look at Tenay. He's so proud. He's like a proud dad. He's like, yeah. Here we are. AJ, AJ, AJ.
AJ.
Congratulations, AJ.
You can't. It's hard to believe that it is a reality.
This may sound a little cheesy. I do not think I could do this without the fans.
Yeah, great cliche.
The Monster Beast won the 20-man gauntlet. He's the #1 contender for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, see? Fucking called it, bro.
Caught off. Yeah, it gets cut off by Jeff Jarrett.
Styles is pissed, dude. Oh, yeah. Here comes guitar in hand. My world. Mike, today you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And all of you should be ashamed of yourself for applauding that man. Look at him point the guitar at him. It didn't take one man, it took two men to dethrone.
And a potato punch.
And a potato. I earned that belt. It's oh, fucking A-Bob. It's Slammiversary. He's exercising his rematch. Fuck. Oh, Don West said, can he do that? We know he'd like to, but... When you come take this belt from me right now, Tanae's like, oh. AJ lays the title on the mat.
I really don't want to see a rematch.
Well, there's a good chance you're about to. Oh, shit. Monty Brown attacks Styles from behind. Jarrett's lackey. Oh.
I wouldn't mind a Monty Brown AJ match.
That's kind of fun.
Monty Brown would just toss him around real good.
As he just did, and now Styles is getting some right hands in. But don't worry. Here comes Jarrett from behind. Oh. Off the rope. Comes back. Oh, he jumps over Jarrett, but Monty Brown caught him. Pop up the Alpha Bomb.
That will do it. How is nobody helping AJ?
I don't know. Damn it. Now I want to see Monty Brown versus Styles, dude. Oh, Abyssa's song is playing.
But he's not going to help AJ. Oh, come on, Tanae.
Is he here to help AJ?
No way.
Dude, this is like Hogan at Bash at the Beach.
No.
What side is he on?
No, we're not doing it. We're going to get a swerve. Okay.
He's going to help AJ, dude. Oh, Black Hole Slam to the champion. Good night. Good night.
How would anybody expect that to be a face turn for Abyss? It would make no sense. Who's coming out here? Sean Waltman?
Sean Waltman in AMW. Nice. Waltman in the red suit totally just threw me off, though. He's got a red velvet tracksuit on. Guys were a little late.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that they were like across the park on a ride and they got word that Styles was getting beat up. So they were like, fuck.
Yeah.
We got to go. We got to get out of the line at the Minions ride and we got to go help them. Back from commercial, Jarrett is yelling at Dusty with Abyss and Monty Brown behind him. He just slammed the locker shut. Oh, he just threw a chair at the Slammiversary poster. Oh, he got his rematch. It's official.
What?
Oh! We're doing the King of the Mountain. AJ, Abyss, Monty Brown, Jarrett. He said he's got a wild card. Okay, so that was a very random announcement.
Yeah.
But Bob, we got a King of the Mountain match to main event Slammiversary for the title.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there's Raven.
Zabisco's at the commentator's table. Raven's coming out to ask to be the wild card. Raven says he should be in it. He says he's going to turn TNA into a bloodbath if he doesn't. Zabisco says he essentially has no information. You're in no position to deny me what I want. The only thing you did was lay out Bruno in 1980. Tell me I'm the wild card. Oh, shit, he slapped the headset off of Zabisco. Oh, my God, he's going to hit Tenay and West, he just said.
He's threatening today because he knows that he's like the booker. Uh-oh. Oh, Zabisco just ran Raven into the announcer's table.
Get out of here.
The ramp.
Dude, the crowd's loving this. Oh, shit.
He smashed Zabisco with a chair.
This is wild.
What the fuck?
Come on, Zabisco. Oh, he missed him. He missed the kick. That's okay. He threw him in the ring now. Raven is taking over the show because he wants to be the wild card in the King of the Mountain. If I can't be the savior of the company, I'll be its destruction. Raven effect to Larry Zabisco, middle of the ring. Oh, he said, you want some more? Wait, I like Crazy Raven. This is great. Another Raven effect.
Wow.
You're not unconscious yet. I know you can hear me. Here comes security. Raven is taking out security now. Oh my God. I love when they hit people with the microphone and you hear it like
yeah. Raven going nuts.
I like this. Tell me what I want to hear. Here comes Dusty. How dare you crack whip with me? How dare you put your hands on a TNA official? As of this moment. Oh my God. Oh my God, he just suspended Raven. Oh my God. Oh my God. Raven said,
quit.
You can't suspend me, Rhodes. I quit. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God, he's throwing down West. No. Oh my God. Okay, we're back from commercial, and now Ron Killings and BG are yelling at each other, and there's a sneaky camera watching them from the corner, which is really great. I like it a lot.
It's like TNA reaction.
Yeah, it is. I like this, though. You got heat with me? You got heat with Conan? He's like, no, we got 3 Live Crew. Oh. Ron Killings is losing his voice. He's yelling so much at BG. What's up?
What's up?
With the 3 Live Crew, man. You did it. It's your fault. Thanks, BG. Things aren't looking good for the 3 Live Crew, man.
No.
Wow. Okay, so now we have an entrance coming up here. We can kind of digest everything we just saw. It looks like Cassidy Riley, I think. Yeah. Dude, that Raven segment.
That was good.
I can't believe he just quit.
You can't suspend me. I quit.
I do think that Raven demanding to be in the King of the Mountain makes a lot of sense. He's kind of been in like a weird place, but he's been in some decently high profile matches.
Well, yeah, and he just won at Hard Justice. So
now I think he should have won. Oh wait! Daniels coming out, and here comes Michael Shane, who took the hood off Daniels. He didn't even attack him. Michael Shane is confronting the X Division champion during his entrance. Give him a title shot. Don't you ever interrupt me again. Interesting. Hey, speaking of Christopher Daniels, Bob, he has also signed a 3-year contract over the weekend.
Oh, so he'll also be there through September of 2008?
Seems to be. Okay, so that was quite the confrontation there.
I feel like they're going to make Daniels a face if Michael Shane gets a title shot, right? That seems to be the next program.
Dude, if the crowd loves him, you might as well.
Yeah. There is one indie note for Christopher Daniels.
Oh, I know about this one.
Back on May 13th for PWG. Jason takes PWG. This was a PWG title versus the X Division title. AJ Styles, the PWG champion, wrestled Daniels to a 60-minute time limit draw.
Yeah, I actually I had that note as well, so that tells you how big of a match that must have been.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything to add to it. I can't find it. Here we go. There's only 275 fans there, and it was billed as a title versus title match because Daniels was defending the X Division title against the PWG title that Styles holds.
Which I've never liked that because obviously there's not going to be a major TNA title change.
Well, listen to this too. It's also pretty funny as Daniels locks in a submission on Riley. Johnny Fairplay actually showed up at the card and was taunting Styles playing a heel manager. Although he didn't appear to be a part of the show since he left before the match ended. And they also apparently announced that America's Most Wanted versus... This just says Kid. I don't know who that is, though.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you. But speaking of Fairplay, he was actually scheduled to be brought back, but he might be a casualty of the booking change because Rhodes liked him, but no one else seems to.
That doesn't surprise me.
And Bob, the hits just keep on coming because I feel like I'm falling behind because this show has been pretty good so far. There's a actual rumored opponent for Daniels for Slammiversary, and this one is crazy.
Juventud Guerrera.
No. Jushin Thunder Liger was spoken about doing the Slammiversary pay-per-view. He would have challenged Daniels for the X Division title. As the gimmick they were trying to do is to have top international stars be brought in to fight Daniels. There's also talk of Ultimo Dragon as a potential challenger. Now, the Liger thing fell through because it was during New Japan Super Juniors tournament, so he was unable to appear. A couple scoop slams.
Ultimo Dragon would be cool.
Yeah. Split leg moonsault by Riley. Whoa. Just a 2 count, though. And also, you mentioned PWG, and we're talking about this new booking committee. You ready to hear some names that the new booking committee is interested in bringing in as Riley goes for lion salt and he gets the knees up?
He just hit like a fisherman buster too. That was pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually very curious.
So I'll give you the obvious first. They're interested in Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe? Okay.
They're interested in CM Punk, which we've actually heard about. The other one is a wild card. In 2005 here, they are interested in bringing in Bryan Danielson.
So they just want to take all the Ring of Honor guys.
Yeah. And Daniels gets a 3 count. I think, was that for the Angels Wings?
Yes, it was.
Joe is apparently most probable because definite ideas have been discussed for him. Oh, shit, here comes Michael Shane. The thing is that even though... Oh, wait, who's coming down? It's Sabin. Oh, shit, he hits a drop kick on Daniels because Michael Shane moved out of the way. The thing is that Michael Shane can still seem like a viable contender even when he stays out of it. He's a former champion, and he's got some good heel work, so... But now we're seeing something else happen in here. It looks like Sabin might kind of be involved in the mix.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because of the way the match ended at Hardcore Justice. I like this.
Hard Justice.
Hard Justice. See, I did it. Sorry. Dusty's in the office. Here comes AJ Styles. He's freaking out about the King of the Mountain. Slammiversary. King of the Mountain. I'm a fighting champion. I always have been. Oh, shit. Jeff Jarrett, you're trying to ruin our show? Raven, he's going to hold a hostage? Monty Brown. Let's see. Can't wait till June 19th. I'm a little wadded up, too. Oh. He said, you want Jeff Jarrett? You don't have to wait. Next week. Monty Brown, Jeff Jarrett versus Styles, and a partner of his choice next week.
Who will he have him? Who will team with him?
Oh, it's not going to be Hardy. He's suspended. Raven quit. I don't know.
Waltman?
Waltman has saved him. It's got to be Waltman, dude.
It's got to be Waltman.
Here comes Eric Young. And I think Petey Williams I saw. Oh, it's all Team Canada. A1 as well.
Oh, Canada. Petey Williams has a couple of indie notes. Back on May 13th, he defeated Chris Sabin for X3W, Burn the Bridge in Ohio. And then on May 14th, he won the NWA Upstate No Limits title when he defeated Kevin Dunn. So that's a little close to us.
Nice. Let's see who we... Oh, finding AMW, which never have any notes, so...
That's true.
So Team Canada, it looks like Eric Young and Petey Williams against Amerigo Swan here.
The defending skill team.
Jeff Hardy here did an interview for the Ottawa Sun, and he this is pretty interesting. He noted that him and Matt would probably only team up once in TNA, and it would be probably on Matt's debut show, saying that both felt the same way about it. Jeff said he likes life a lot more now because of the TNA schedule, as he's doing virtually no indie bookings as well. So that's pretty much all the TNA stuff he talked about during the interview. But
so if that were to happen, it has to be the Hardys against AMW, right?
It has to be. And if it's only a one-time teaming, AMW has to win.
Right.
In my opinion. This is a 30-minute time limit. I think they said it's a number one contender match.
Yeah, but I thought it was only title matches that got...
They're really spicing this up.
Yeah.
One of the other things Jeff says in this interview, just because I think it's funny, this is during the whole Edge and Lita situation. So Matt played a cell phone message from Edge to Lita, telling her how much that he loved her. So
Mhm.
Jeff called Edge and left a message on his answering machine. So there you go. That says, "Hey, this is all screwed up. I hate you right now." And I just like the way he said that.
I hate you right now,
Right now.
but like maybe not in the future.
Right.
That whole situation is just bizarre.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I don't even know if at this point if Edge and Lita are even still together technically. I don't think it was
It was more like a
relationship.
little fling.
That's what I think it was. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they are still together right now.
Do you? I don't know.
Definitely on screen, but
Well, yeah. But I'm saying like
I don't know. I feel like they may have been. Because it's still like pretty fresh around this time.
Yeah.
At least to the public. Tag, Eric Young comes in. James Storm is on a knee. Oh, quick
Eric
tag.
Young's still sporting the trunks, which always throws me out.
Yeah. Let me give you that Mike Tenay interview too, just because it's a little bit longer and this is a longer match, it seems, so it might be perfect. As AMW throws Petey Williams into Eric Young as we go to commercial. And we're back. 25-24 left. By the way, if you're following along, we are 29 minutes and 9 seconds into the show. So Mike Tenay did an interview. So it says who will probably work in. He's a part of the committee. It notes. He put over Jimmy Hart for all the work that he does to try to drum up interest at Universal Studios. He was asked about AJ Styles as champion, but of course, this was before the pay-per-view. So of course, try not to give away anything.
Mm-hmm.
He did say that AJ Styles, like a Chris Benoit, was the kind of guy who could have a good match with anyone, and that was the mark of a champion. He was asked about being part of the committee, and all he would say was that he would be giving his input during production meetings and whenever he was asked. He said that he'd seen both committee form and all powerful single booker form work and not work in the past. So he's seen it all. And that with a committee, it depends who was on it. He was confident that the TNA committee would do well. Mike Tenay can be very political in interviews, it says here. So he said the ideal TV situation would be primetime Monday night head-to-head deal with WWE. He doesn't always have it right, I guess. He also said that if they got on WGN Monday nights, that he hoped WGN would do a lot of advertising to let fans know that the show was on.
That's just I don't understand the obsession with competing with Raw. I mean, you're not.
I don't know.
You would want your own night.
Oh, Petey knocks down Harris off the apron here as they got control over James Storm still. Slams him down. He's going to get the hot tag.
Here comes James Storm. Cleaning house on Eric Young.
Boom.
Big power slam. Goes to PD. Kicks him in the gut. Looking for...
I have the Storm. I remembered it this time.
And there you go.
Nice. Goes for the cover.
1, 2. No.
Oh, shit. Double team? He's going to hit that heart attack? Kind of delayed, but... Oh, that's why. He was waiting for A1 to be in the right spot so he could trip him.
Pull him out. PD going for a sharpshooter. He's about to get a submission. He's in the middle of the ring.
Oh! And a bad elbow from Eric Young from behind.
Oh, I thought that was it.
This is actually a really interesting matchup because I almost feel like Team Canada's got to win. Because I do feel like the Naturals, because of Candido, because the crowd's liking them a lot, I think they're kind of turning face a little bit. So I kind of feel like Team Canada's going to end up winning here.
Well, and I also I wouldn't want a repetitive match.
I agree with that too. Super kick.
No,
well, maybe I spoke too soon. Super kick on Eric Young. It looks like, are they about to set up for the death sentence? The Powerplex, but from Triple X, but they did not. Oh, That was bullshit. That was bullshit. Petey
Yes.
got a roll up, and James Storm's leg was in the rope.
Yeah. But it's Rudy Charles. He likes to ignore that stuff. So Team Canada are the #1 contenders. I don't hate that.
No, I don't hate that either. I love, pissed off AMW, I love.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, fantasy booking for a second. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I feel like if they continually lose, they're going to get a little mean, and we're about to see a heel turn with America's Most Wanted eventually. Not right away. I think we have a little time. I think we can build to that.
Who do you think? When do you think it would happen?
Wait, hold on 1 second. They followed. We're going to see some video footage here soon. There's a camera crew that followed Raven out of the impact zone. I wouldn't be surprised if it's right after Slammiversary, or maybe at the following pay-per-view. Oh, it's official. Sean Waltman is AJ Styles' partner for next week. Jarrett and Monty Brown coming over to the commentators table for the next match. And on that note, Bob, I have 2 more notes here. I think. Let me double check. Yeah, 2 more notes. One of which is just some rating updates. The April 29th show did a 0.28 rating. The number was up 33%, probably due to the Candido's death. The April 30th replay show did a 0.28. Numbers were way down the next week when May 6th did a 0.18, and the May 7th replay did a 0.12. And right now, since January, the Friday average is a 0.21, and a Saturday average is a 0.25. So they're doing better on that Saturday night replay as Abyss comes out. Oh, Jared's saying that Abyss is the newest member to his little group.
But he said his 3rd member. So is the Outlaw not in his group?
Oh, that's weird.
Because Abyss would be the 4th.
That's weird. I don't like that. My final note here, Bob, just to get out of the way so we can enjoy our main event here. Yes, Chris Sabin comes out. Nice. Sabin versus Abyss.
That's an interesting match.
I have a feeling we're going to see a clusterfuck at the end of this one.
I feel like Chris Sabin's going to get his butt whooped.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Chris Sabin on May 14th at the W1W debut show lost to Amazing Red.
Oh, shit.
And then Abyss on May 13th as well. He defeated Shirley Doe on X3W's Burn the Bridge in a casket match.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that.
My final note here. You won't believe who's backstage at the taping.
Randy Savage.
No, it was Gail Kim. And apparently, the plan is to use her, and you won't believe these names are thrown out, to use her, Jazz, and Molly Holly if the TV show goes to 2 hours. And not to use them every week, but to use them as semi-regulars.
Abyss just pretty much dropped Sabin on his shoulder and neck. That was gross. Sabin gets a 1 count. Sean Waltman, that's right, next week. That's a little interesting. Molly Holly, I don't.
Yeah, apparently she's obviously would have to change her name. But she has to wait out her non-compete. And it says Jazz may have to change her name as well, which I think when she's not in WWE, doesn't she only have 1 Z? I don't remember how she does it.
Oh, I don't know. I know that she's Jazz.
Yeah, I don't think she ever is not Jazz.
She used that name in ECW though.
That's why I don't think she'd have to.
I don't think she would have to.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a crazy thought though. Like the idea that they could potentially be building a women's division around Jazz, Molly Holly, and Gail Kim.
I think that would be good. I mean, I've always liked Kim. I liked all 3 of those.
Yeah, I like them all too. And you got Tracy and Trinity as well. So,
well, my only concern with that would be I feel like Trinity and Tracy would be super exposed.
Yes.
considering they're not like veterans.
I think Trinity could hold her own.
I think she'd be more likely to than Tracy, yeah.
Well, I sort of feel like Tracy. Oh!
What the fuck?
Whoa! So Abyss was gonna go for a choke slam, to the outside, or sorry, to the inside because they were on the apron. So Sabin was crotch on the top. He broke off. Abyss fell to the floor, and Sabin popped himself over the post to hit a Hurricane Rana on the floor. Oh, he went off the apron, but Abyss grabbed him in a choke slam. Let's see, he's gonna hit it. Pop up? No. Oh. Against the steps. He swung him against the steps. Shit. Wow.
That was hard hitting. This for the cover. The Sabin manages to kick out. I can't imagine Sabin really recovering from getting his head just thrown into the ring steps like that.
No way. Jarrett is saying he's the greatest NWA champion of all time on commentary.
Well, he had a stutter, so he said all time. So 3 times.
He's a monster.
Oof. Overhand chop by this. We have 5 minutes left in this show.
Oh. Got a little, what? He's twisting his head.
Sabin trying to elbow out. Comes off the ropes. Kicks to the chest of Abyss. And he runs into a big bird. Stops Sabin right in his tracks.
Slammiversary, Sunday, June 19th. That's the second time I saw that at the bottom of the screen there.
And they had it on the top too there.
Yep.
Who do you think the wild card's going to be?
Sean Waltman.
Samoa Joe.
Oh, shit. Could you imagine? CM Punk, Bryan Danielson.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like if you put Samoa Joe in that spot, you probably should just have him win. Right?
Yeah.
Probably can't have him lose. Inseguri.
I only say Sean Waltman because he's like involved with the situation right now. If he's going to be his partner next week.
Well, it's 5 guys, right?
Usually
the match.
I think usually.
So Jarrett, Monty Brown, Abyss, Styles.
I'll tell you right now what I almost slipped on earlier because I was waiting to see if they're going to say it is I think the only reason they're doing a wild card is because Jeff Hardy was supposed to be in it.
Right.
So he was going to be that, and now they're like, don't know. So
Tornado DDT by Sabin, but Abyss pops up at 2.
I don't mind the idea of a wild card though.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like for pay-per-views, you really want to announce stuff that way. You like the viewer knows.
Yeah,
exactly what's going on.
Oh, going for powerbomb, but Sabin slipped through, goes for a cover, but Abyss slipped out even. Now he's gonna catapult. Oh, there's a chair in the corner. I wonder who's gonna hit that chair that's wedged in the corner.
Probably Andrew Thomas.
Abyss goes for a choke slam, and he gave Sabin an atomic wedgie.
Yeah,
that looked like it hurt.
I don't know what hurts most there, the choke slam or the wedgie.
I think the wedgie, dude. Come on, Abyss. Okay, Abyss is removing the wedge chair because he knows he's gonna hit it.
Yeah, his head is a magnet for chairs in the corner.
It really, dude. The mask. That makes so much sense, dude. It's made of metal.
What it is.
Show the block. Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Missile drop kicked the chair into Abyss's face.
That looked nice.
Oh.
There's Tracy and my dude. I freaking know. Oh, cradle shock on Abyss.
Cradle shock, but here's Michael Shane waiting and super kicked him. I knew that was gonna happen.
Dude.
I was gonna say I'm surprised Michael Shane hasn't came out yet.
I do. That's why I told you it was going to be a cluster here. But the referee distracted makes this a little bit better for me. It's not just like a too much of a mess. Going for the shock treatment. Boom. TNA, it has a name.
Shock treatment.
Sit down.
Finishing
Backbreaker.
save.
Didn't hate that match or the finish.
Is Jarrett gonna hit the stroke on Sabin just because he can get some
pushes Andrew Thomas out of the way? Unholy alliance. That's what we're seeing right here in front of us. TNA says, "Brad, put her there."
Black hole slam him with this.
No way.
Do it.
Although, why is he delaying the handshake?
Do it.
Put her there. I like how
Sam's
he
even
that.
wanted to do. No.
Oh, he shook his hand.
Wait, is he gonna spin him around? Oh shit!
Oh
shit!
Look at Monty Brown doesn't know what to do.
I didn't think he was gonna do it. Oh shit! Okay, so I guess is Abyss not with Jarrett then?
Appears not.
I really did not think he was going to actually do the Black Hole Slam. Wow.
But that episode of Impact was freaking awesome.
I thought that was a good show.
That one's a double thumbs up for me. I really, really like that show.
Mike Tenay, a good influence.
Dude, it's got to be, right?
Would have thought.
I don't know. I just think everything about that show was, like, very well done. The continuity from, like, the Styles interview to him talking to Dusty backstage to Raven coming out and quitting because he's not getting his way and to get involved in the match to Abyss joining him in the beginning of the show and then turning on him at the end. I mean, wow. That was a good ass episode of Impact.
I would say that was a strong way to come out of a lackluster pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was. Dare I say that was arguably, I'm going to say, one of the strongest episodes of Impact in totality we've seen.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's how good I think that was. And now when we come off of a hot show like that, I get real fucking excited for the next week.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really good. And we know we have a huge tag team match. Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett versus AJ Styles and Sean Waltman. Now I kind of wish it was AJ and Abyss, but...
Yeah.
Which would actually be pretty interesting since they don't get along either. So it could be like you know, they always do in wrestling.
Right.
And dude, King of the Mountain is set for Slammiversary. Seems like we have a potential Michael Shane Daniels or Michael Shane Daniels Chris Sabin X Division title match. I think the latter is potentially more.
It's probably a triple threat.
Yeah. So I think that's probably going to happen. We know Team Canada against the Naturals, #1 contenders.
Yeah.
But that's actually super interesting, too, because what does America's Most Wanted do? You can't leave them off your 3rd anniversary.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a really good question.
Wow, that's actually really interesting. But card's shaping up really nice, I think.
Yeah. I mean, King of the Mountain, I tend to enjoy, like, the gimmick itself anyway. So
yeah, I think it's really good, and
I have far more interest in the King of the Mountain than I did AJ Jarrett at Hard Justice, and then a potential rematch that they were teasing.
Yep. And I think they knew that, and I kind of like the fact that they like made us be like, oh god, like Jarrett again, and then they're like, it's King of the Mountain. It's like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
They let you down before they bring you up. I like it.
Right.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I can't say enough good about that show. And now I am very excited for Slammiversary. I was excited for Slammiversary anyways. This is a big one. So 3-year anniversary and we're doing monthly pay-per-views now. It's different. The more interesting part of all this, as we will continue to talk about, is the TV situation. We have one episode of Impact left on FSM. I mean, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that more next week, and then I don't know. We're gonna be spitballing, Bob. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll. It's either gonna be a surprise or I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
We'll spitball. It's probably gonna be a surprise more than anything, but
yeah, probably. All right. Well, next week, what we know so far is that there's going to be a tag match: AJ and Waltman against Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett. So I'm looking forward to that. And as we've been saying, we're both looking forward to what Slammiversary is shaping up to be right now. So thankfully, this was a good show. We're back, maybe on the right track, even if TV seems to be fading away. But we will figure out the landscape of TNA in the coming weeks, and we hope that you guys continue to follow along with us. So until next week, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
Oh,